Hi, and welcome to Sunday Coffee Hour. I'm Stanley Smith. Today at Coffee Hour, we talked about pernicious anemia, sickle cell anemia, and porphyria. Also, the slaughter rule, block clubs, and the difference between DNA, genetics, and racism. The readings today were from Jeremiah. You were knit together in the womb. And from Corinthians. The greatest of these is love. At Washington National Cathedral, Dean Hollerith preached about the Japanese art of kintsugi, which is the mending of broken porcelain. Randy said that God loves us the way we are and not in the imaginary form of perfection we believe we should be. At St. James Cathedral, Dean Barrington told us the cathedral is ending the year in the black, even though, by his estimation, the pews at St. James are still looking a little empty. This week, I was reminded of the 1972 film, The Poseidon Adventure, which I saw in a movie theater as a young child. I remember finding the film very frightening, and I had to sit with my parents in the theater after the film was over to watch a cartoon just so I could calm down from the fright of it all. In the film, they are celebrating New Year's Eve when the ship encounters a tsunami wave, which literally turns their world upside down. The tables are turned over and the guests scramble as the ship begins to capsize. Just as they are trying to come to terms with what has happened, the giant Christmas tree, which had been a decoration in the room, becomes unmounted and crashes into the ballroom onto the crowd below. At Washington National Cathedral, Randy mentioned the collective shock and trauma that we have all been enduring during these last 2 years. For many, it has been frightening and shocking. After coffee hour, I took my friend Bill, who's consigned to a wheelchair, to the local Jewel grocery store. For Bill, this is his only outing each week, and he is so grateful and thankful for it. As we were navigating the aisles for the final item on Bill's list, tomato juice, I noticed someone familiar heading toward us, and I could see in his eyes that he recognized me, or at least he noticed, of course, that I immediately recognized him. But he called my name as he approached, as I said, "Oh my God, it's John Buchanan." Dr. Buchanan is the former pastor of Fourth Presbyterian Church, and when he retired, for me and Bill, and for many others, our world was literally turned upside down, even though we didn't fully understand or realize it at the time. Bill was so startled and surprised by this, and Bill put out his hand for John, but John had already passed by. I told John that Bill wanted to shake his hand, and John did shake Bill's hand. And then we were on our way. But for some reason, I called back to John, who was already halfway down the aisle, and I said, "John, you have been such a blessing for so many people, but I want you to know that you have been a blessing in Bill's life and also in my life." I'm so glad I did that. In many circumstances and instances, when we really think about it, we don't know for sure that we will ever see anyone ever again. And in that moment, I'm so glad I was compelled to say something. After the giant Christmas tree crashes into the ballroom in the Poseidon Adventure, it later proves to be the means for climbing out of the mess, just as the room bursts into flames with death all around. I agree with Randy at National Cathedral that we are all experiencing trauma and shock. We can all see that our world has been turned upside down. Do I consider this an adventure? Probably not. But if the greatest blessing in my life is cruising through the grocery store, then I'll take it. We all want to survive this mess, but that means more than just physically. It also means morally and spiritually. When I looked up the commentary for the Poseidon Adventure, it said that this is a morality play about yielding to authority or discerning for yourself. I was intrigued when I was reminded that the protagonist in the film was indeed a minister, and that he was assisted by a lovely Jewish couple on their way to Israel. Whatever is crashing into the ballroom of our lives today Perhaps we can see this as a way out of this mess. And when we exit coffee hour for the last time, may we do so with our lives and our moral compass intact. Do I believe there is a morning after? Yes, I do. If you would like to join me at Sunday Coffee Hour, I'll include my email in the description of this video, and I'll be happy to send you an invitation. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.